Yeah, listeners, welcome back to another episode of the Jaftaf show, and we
Yeah,
are the Jaftaf. And yeah, it's a little bit cold here in this space.
yeah,
So I'm planning to come back soon and I'll be back on Earth.
yeah.
So yeah, guys,
He's
today we are
he's
talking
on a
about
mission, so he'll be coming back very soon.
yes. Yeah, man. So yeah, guys, today we are talking about this movie called The Judge, and
Mm.
why we chose this movie is because of its cast.
Yes.
The story is very simple, the movie is very simple, but the people who are actually performing in this movie
Hmm.
broke the way they were acting for a long time and
Yeah,
came out with something new.
yeah.
And obviously because of RDJ, I chose this movie. For the very first time, I watched this movie because of him only.
Mm.
Because this movie came in 2014. At that time, Iron Man 3 and
Hmm,
Avengers,
hmm, hmm.
these movies just came, and everybody was seeing Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark only. But in this movie, when you watch it, you are not going to feel it that way that,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, he's Tony Stark. No,
I
he
I I'm the
is.
prime
uh,
example to tell this. So
mm,
there's been a stereotype in the industry that everyone tells that uh this guy is just born to play Tony Stark his whole life. But even I was convinced that even I was convinced that okay, this guy is born to play Tony Stark, and he did a movie called Doodlebug in between, yeah, like few years back. So I didn't see it because I was in the zone of Endgame because I was like, Endgame should be
yeah,
Endgame of Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. because uh,
yeah,
I didn't want to see him anymore. Not because I don't want to see him. I mean like okay, this the point to not see other movies is because I don't want to spoil the image what Tony Stark had created. So there's a saying that when you create a art, you don't mess with art anymore. You just create the art and just leave it. So for me, the in the mind was that Tony Stark character was at the peak. I didn't want to spoil the Tony Stark character, so I didn't watch other movies of his. But yeah, here we are. So I saw a judge. So here you don't get the feel of Tony Stark, but you get the feel of Robert Downey Jr. So it was very different. And to be honest, it took me just few seconds, few minutes to just uh, get to get into the realization. Okay, this guy is not Tony Stark. He's playing Hank. So yeah,
So yeah, guys, today we are talking
because
about
yeah,
Hank Palmer and his father.
because I have one more
Yeah,
example. Because usually this doesn't happen very easily with other actors. Because whenever, for example, like you observe Dwayne Johnson, he plays same character in all the movies. He is like the Akshay Kumar of Hollywood. So, uh, but yeah, in this case,
yeah, because they both
yeah,
don't know how to act.
dude, like Dwayne Johnson acts the same character in all the movies. He wears the same type of clothes. He makes the same genre movies. He's always in the forest.
And muscles every
Yeah,
single time. He's that guy who cannot.
yeah,
But I remember watching one of his movies that came in 2010 called Faster.
yeah.
So in that movie, he was not showing himself as a muscle pumpy guy, but a guy who is chasing a revenge. But we are not going to
Yeah,
go there. So, so yeah, guys, today we are talking about this guy called Hank Palmer and his father,
yeah,
that he was supposed to call him the judge
yeah,
whenever they meet. And when I watched this movie, uh, after some time watching this movie, I kind of felt what he was going through
Hmm.
in his entire life, why he started hating his father, and what kind of relationships they both were having. And at last, why and how you understand that the decisions your parents made, how
Hmm.
they were important. And that's what this movie is all about.
Hmm.
And it was uh, this movie is a gem because actors like Robert Downey Jr., Robert Duvall, who was part of the Godfather series, these guys worked in this movie, and they performed the best. I don't know, the judge Robert Duvall who performed the judge. He was nominated for Academy for his role
For
as
this
a
movie.
best for this movie
Okay.
because obviously he irritated me when I was watching this movie
Yeah, yeah.
because he was
You know what?
acting.
He gave that vibe of, uh, school principal vibe. Uh,
Well, he was the judge.
yeah. I mean, like, okay, how do I explain you? Like, okay, not school principal, a teacher who you don't like, uh, a different subject teacher who, like, that her class is gonna start at this time, and she's gonna annoy you or annoy the class, but still you want to study in there and you want to attend her classes because it's important class. But she's like the head of the class, so it kind of gave me that vibe. Yeah.
Well, Judge Palmer was the man of principle, and he followed the law, sat on that chair as judge for 42 years.
Hmm.
So there was this one person in my life that I was able to find him very relatable to. I'm not going to say it, but yeah. And and I could relate why he was acting like that, why the principles are very important for him, and why he doesn't want to have the favor of his kid. And and how this movie leads you to understand that
Hmm.
sometimes things happen. What happened with Judge Palmer was, I wouldn't say it was a tragedy.
Yeah.
It was an impulsive decision that he made.
Yeah.
Obviously, breaking the law is not a right thing, and manslaughter is not a thing
Hmm.
that should be done. A person who followed the law for his entire life, who told people to follow the law for his
Yeah.
entire life, and
It
when they break them,
this
it's
this this
it's not
usually
right. Yeah, obviously.
this usually makes that point that lawmakers are the lawbreakers.
So, but at this particular movie,
Yeah.
Judge was not that person.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
like, unwillingly it happened. Like,
and and I remember. Okay, we will start from the beginning only. When you watch Robert Downey Jr. for the very first time on screen, it just you never go that side that he was once Tony Stark or he was performing
yeah,
something else. I even watched his movie Sherlock Holmes that came in 2009 and 2011,
yeah,
both the parts. And when you're gonna watch that movie, you are not going to think that this guy is Tony Stark. No, that is what Robert Downey Jr. is. I
mhm,
watched his Chaplin. That movie came in 1992, and that time he got nominated for Academy Award, and
yeah.
second time for
We
Tropical Thunder.
we even watch
I
Oppenheimer.
remember. Let's not go there.
Yeah,
I'm just saying because Oppenheimer is a level that is a benchmark now, right?
yeah.
Right. But before that, his
I mean,
journey
like,
how was,
uh, I think even you and audience might agree that the performance what Robert Downey Jr. gave in Oppenheimer was his peak, like, until now. If I'm not wrong.
you know, when I was watching Oppenheimer,
Yeah,
I just knew that he's gonna get it. I
yeah,
knew because what Robert Downey Jr. did in Oppenheimer was something else, because the people who have been or only people who have been watching him can understand like how good his acting was,
Mm-hmm.
because you change the perception of the people who have been watching you for the past 20 years, 15,
Mm-hmm.
20 years,
Yeah.
right? You performed, you chose a character, and then you start performing it, and people started loving you more because of that character. And when and it's not like you are winning Academy Award for that performance.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it was for the fame part. You won Academy Award for being a dick. That was
Yeah.
he was like,
Yeah.
and people loved it, and they
Yeah.
were like, yes, we cannot expect any less from Robert Downey Jr. You
Yeah.
know, I followed Robert Downey Jr. for quite a long time, and it was not just that I started watching his movie only, and that is how I became his fan. No, I followed
Mm.
his life, like what made him change and what made him what he is right now. I remember, in 2005 when movie came Gothica, that so Robert Downey Jr. got married to the producer of that movie, Susan Downey Jr.
Okay. Okay.
So till that time, Robert Downey Jr. was so much into drugs and went to
Mm.
jail once, and obviously his marriage got spoiled, his first marriage. So, Susan Downey Jr., when he asked her out or maybe for marriage, so she told him like, leave the drugs, I'm in. And see what happened in his life. 2005, he got married to Susan Downey Jr. In 2007, he got the deal for Iron Man 1,
Yeah.
right? And in 2008, Iron Man 1 came along, then Iron
Yeah.
Man 2, then Avengers, and he became the guy who led the Avengers and
True.
made the whole Avenger
And
team.
actually, he's the guy who's gonna lead the Marvel universe after Endgame too.
Exactly,
Because recently they
exactly.
announced that Avengers Doomsdays will be leading. RDJ will be leading as Doom. So
So for me, RDJ was the person who actually changed my perception towards life.
yeah.
Like he said that uh, people have to come and stand from rock bottom. If you are hitting rock bottom, you doesn't have to be there.
Yeah.
You have to stand up and just come out. And when I was feeling very low in my life around 6, 7 years back, so at that time I listened to that way he said like you need not to stay at the rock bottom, and I read about him like how fucked up he was,
Mhm.
and still he made it.
Yeah.
He just made it. He was and how confidently he represent himself and the character Hank Palmer that he performed. It was very well suited on him
Mhm.
because the kind of upfront person Hank Palmer was, and how much fucked up his life was, and still he was a very good lawyer,
Mhm.
and he knew how to do things and understand that every single point. Hank Palmer never acted like a dick in
Mhm.
this. Obviously he hated his father, but there were points when he became more understandable towards him.
Yeah.
And when his daughter came, Hank's daughter came,
Yeah.
and Palmer judge was
Yeah.
upstairs, and
Yeah.
he fell, and then he helped him
Yeah.
without any thought of anything.
Yeah. You
So
know
yeah,
what? The scenes where uh, Hank and a daughter were sharing. So they were really good. Like he told her daughter, tell your mom that this is the best vacation ever. So I was like, okay, I know that that character is going through so many things, but still he wants to present himself as great dad, even though his life is fucked and his wife is not there with him. But still he wants to showcase that. But I guess she had a good time in vacations. So
and I just when he was Carnival is the place, I guess that
mhm.
was the town, and he was going. in the beginning when he was going there. He was like, didn't want to be there, and
Mm-hmm.
he was looking around and seeing everything like nothing has changed, nothing has
Mm.
changed. And then he went to see his father,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And he knew exactly what he's going to say and what words are allowed in the court.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, the way the chemistry between father and son was going on
Yeah, yeah.
was very cut to cut. These Robert Duvall and Robert Downey Jr. they both performed it very well.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
that judge is never going to back down or admit that he needs something.
Yeah.
You
You
need
know,
to go there and
yeah.
ask him.
From this movie, okay. Uh, I have example like I've seen this kind of things. Uh, have you seen Mirzapur? Amazon Prime show Mirzapur.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Hmm.
it had the same vibe in this. The Guddu Pandit character and his father. His father was a lawyer. So
Okay, okay.
so Guddu Pandit is the he's like the guy who was like the street guy. He didn't have brains like properly, but his father was man of principles. So even in this movie, we see that Hank's father was a man of principle, and in the show also he was a man of principle. And the main, what do you say? The main head of the Mirzapur city was Pankaj Tripaঠি's character. Just because
Mm.
they shot a groom in the first season. So he was
Mhm.
like, "You kill me, but I'm gonna take your case and I'm gonna fight. And if you're proven guilty, I'm gonna send you jail." So
But
he didn't care that I'm I'm destroying my family or I'm ever doing something, but he was man of principle. Although every person in the family convinced him, take the money, be happy. Why are you getting into all this thing? He's a very big politician, but still he's stuck to his principles. So even we see this, the judge also stuck to his principles till the end. So I was somewhere comparing to that.
actually, Hank was not criminal in this, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
And
see, that's
yeah.
what Hank was not criminal. That's what I'm saying.
And yeah, Judge Palmer had his ways. And when first time I was watching this movie, I was like, why Judge Palmer was like that? And then slowly, when you dig deep inside the story and understand, okay, all right. So what happened with, the starting visuals are like there is this car which is flipped,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
We see all that because those were the moments that changed the relationship between Judge and Hank,
Mm-hmm.
right? He sent him back to the where juvenile
Yeah,
center,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
because of that, and Glenn's hand was fucked,
Mm-hmm.
and because Judge Palmer wanted Glenn to be something in his life, and because of Hank, it didn't happen, and till the end of the part, even at the end of the movie, he said it on the board that Glenn would have done a great job if he would have become a baseball player.
Mm-hmm.
So it showed that Judge always carry that burden in him
Yeah, yeah.
that whatever mistake Hank did it on that day,
Mm-hmm.
I am responsible for it. So
Mm-hmm.
and he knew that he cannot change it.
Mm-hmm.
He knew that Hank might feel bad about it, but who lost everything was Glenn.
Mm-hmm.
He won't be having a career now
Yeah,
in
yeah.
baseball. So and Judge stick to his decision that whatever, and because he was able to stick to his decision, he made the best lawyer that he ever faced in his life. That was
Mm-hmm.
Hank. And Judge
Yeah,
admitted at last that
yeah.
you are, he said, what I am, the best lawyer that I have ever met. So
I didn't expect that to that he gonna say. But yeah, because yeah,
And
Hank really had daddy issues. Like he really had it. I mean, like
who has
father
who
issues.
has not?
Yeah,
So we all
yeah.
face
Basically,
that kind of
Indians
situation.
Indians have this. So
Means yeah, we let's not go there, okay?
yeah,
So yeah, because yeah, let's let's not go there.
yeah.
So yeah, man, and Hank was always irritated that like why judges like that? I don't wanna go there. And he even said it like he should have died instead of mom. And
Oh
Glenn
yeah,
was
yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah, Glenn was so
One thing when the scene came right when
hmm,
Hank says this dialogues, I'm like, bro, why? Like he just told it in the in the intensity. It kind of made that hate thing like so like
because he said it, Judge said it like I don't like you that much.
ha
And
ha
both
ha.
Dale and Glenn said it like he didn't mean that, he
Yeah.
didn't mean that.
The,
And
that
Hank
you know
was
what
like,
that was so fucked up, dude. Like
he should have died instead of mom. And he meant it at that, how good he was, RDJ at that particular moment when he said it like he should have died. I could see I could feel the feeling at
hmm.
that moment too. And and the cinematography of this movie is very great
Yeah.
because the visuals are very clean,
Hmm.
very at some moments I felt like they were trying to make the visuals more dreamy. I don't know why. Because of
Dreamy.
the reflection of the
Uh,
light, because
uh,
of the reflection of the light that is coming. I remember the shot when RDJ came uh, to the corpse of his mother when
yeah,
he
yeah,
was.
yeah.
So there was this backlight that was coming from behind,
Okay, okay, okay.
obviously. And in that particular shot you will find different compared to other shots. Other shots will more feel like real to you.
Okay,
It's like,
okay.
yeah, this is how it looks like. This is how it looks like.
Might be
Even
some approach taken
yeah.
by
So
yeah.
same thing you can feel when Hank and Samantha,
Hmm.
his high school chick,
Hmm.
they both were at the Samantha's place at night,
Hmm.
at the first day when he met. So you could see the falls
Yeah.
behind them. Yeah. So that was
Yeah, yeah.
also that
You
visual.
know,
If you
you
see
know,
properly, na, it would look different from others.
yeah,
It will look more unrealistic in the background. I
yeah.
just don't know. I felt it
You know,
even when I watched it first
okay,
time.
was the falls real, like at the background?
Falls were there
Yeah,
in the in Card in that city in the town. The falls are there.
yeah.
I don't know about that particular shot.
Because when I was watching that scene at the night when they discuss, uh, it gave me that fake editing, like it didn't feel real. I don't know why. I thought they added green screen or something, but then I realized
Well,
they won't put green screen in this type of movies because it didn't blend with the scene what they're showing. So yeah.
you can see the difference
Hmm.
in the shots when shots are much more real and when shots are a little bit different when light changes, man. I'm telling you, there are some particular shots where cinematographer took some different kind of approach to make it more
Hmm.
dreamy. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Using low shutters to make it
Hmm.
more lightish. I don't know, but
Hmm.
yeah, it was there. The approach, the
Basically the
difference we
scenes
can see.
where they showed death and they showed trust and gain towards each other characters. They used glow, like they used like the harsh glow effect. So yeah, You know, one more thing I observed in this movie. This movie has one linear pattern, story based. Like the whole movie has one particular story, which is leaning towards one story and gets concluded at the end. And this movie doesn't rely on uh, cinematography and direction part, but this movie emphasizes more on acting part because the cast is actually good. You know this wo- there's a Marvel character in Daredevil series, Hank Pym, I guess, who beats the shit out of. Yeah, yeah,
Glenn only performed. The
yeah.
guy who performed
So
Glenn, the same
yeah,
guy is there.
when I saw this, I was like, okay, now Marvel characters assembled. So that was great, actually.
Yeah, man, it was there. So it's just, for this particular movie, a direction and cinematography could have been much more
Yeah.
blunt or flat, I could say. But but the cinematography was very much enhanced because this same cinematographer worked with Steven Spielberg for Saving Private Ryan,
Oh,
Big Friend
oh,
Giant, and Ready Player One,
oh,
right?
okay, okay, okay.
And recently the movie that came, If, which was
Animated.
produced by John Krasinski, and I guess Ryan Reynolds is also in
Okay,
the movie.
okay.
If yeah, that movie just came recently, so
Mm-hmm.
there, because this I you can feel it, even when I was watching this movie for the very first time, I could see the difference that these particular shots look different.
Mm-hmm.
Why they look like painting? I just don't
Mm-hmm.
know why they look like
Yeah.
so much,
Overall,
like
in this whole movie, the only frame which like stayed to me is that when Hank's character and that high school chick they talk in the bar, and background you see the wall, waterfall. So that frame looks very clean and neat, and yeah, it looks like live painting there. So
yeah,
yeah.
those things were there. I don't know the reason behind what director was thinking at that particular time,
Mhm.
but he obviously chose a very good cinematographer for this movie.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, the approach could be very, very simple. You can just simply show these things much more real,
Mhm.
right? But you don't have to show why things to make much more artistic. You don't have to take that kind of approach in there. But they did, and they did a
Mhm.
pretty good job with this. This this movie doesn't have so much depth to talk about. It is more about the acting part
Yeah,
that
that's what I said to you.
influenced
It
people.
has one storyline and it goes towards straight pattern. There's no plot twist. It's like an incident
I
occurred.
loved it when he thought that he made out with his daughter. When he
Yeah,
thought that he did.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so we're coming to the topic, the main topic. Okay, let's talk about Carla.
Yes, yes, sure. She was she was fine. Yeah.
Okay, I mean like okay, I'll just change the perspective of what I felt. So usually,
Guys, we are going there, so buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy one.
so usually we have seen True Detective, we have seen Fight Club, and we have seen all these movies. It has very low saturated tone towards the whole plot. Even we saw Incendies. So there we see a lot of desaturated tone. But 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 when Carla comes on screen, you see her in greens. Like have you seen this? Like we see her in greens. We see more vibrant colors, and obviously she's hot. So okay, editor, just cut it up.
Of course, of course, of course, she is hot, and yeah, he made it out with her, and
Yeah.
she was basically his niece. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Man, I
Yeah.
just love Samantha. Why? Because she still was in love with Hank. I was like, they would have met around like 15, 20 years
Yeah,
after, like after their what after their high school whatever event
yeah,
that happens, high school graduation. But still, man, she is so much into him,
yeah.
so much into him.
Even she was fine. Like she was fine as crazy. And there, you know what? There I kind of felt that Tony Stark vibe because he had that charisma with him, that millionaire playboy. But obviously, in this movie, he's not millionaire, but he had that qualities of playboy. He dated his high school chick, which happened to be Carla's mother, and he was hooking with Carla. Man,
when
this guy rules
when
on
he saw
screen. You know what? This guy rules on screen. This guy rules even female's heart, like women's heart. And man, this guy has charisma, and all men look up to him. Like he has the whole good package. Like what do I say?
RDJ is RDJ, man. You cannot just beat him. It
Yeah,
cannot, he cannot be beaten because the energy he has.
yeah.
When first time he just saw Carla in car, he was like, oh, I just. And when he came to
You.
Samantha, like the maths doesn't add up. Whose daughter she is?
Yeah. You know what? Like RDJ should release a course like how do you get chicks 101 sessions.
Well, but he is pretty good at this.
Yeah,
Really, he's pretty good at this. And he's now 60 years old around, but
damn.
still he
Yeah.
is making a hell of a thing. And the fan following he has,
Yeah,
man,
it's
there is a lot. We can make an entire episode on RDJ, but
hmm
let's stick to the judge.
yeah, yeah.
And uh, yeah, the town they chose is pretty great. They could
Chicago.
have chose they no Chicago is where Hank was. Chicago,
Okay.
Illinois, where Hank was.
Okay, where he came to meet his
It
father.
where he,
Yeah,
I
okay.
guess it was Montana. No, not Montana. It was. I read the name of the place. I forgot where Carvindale is. I don't know.
Hmm.
This they could have shown a different city, right? But at that particular moment, the movie could have become more busy.
Hmm.
Well, how I'm saying right now, you could clearly see everything because the city is not so busy. City is more like a very calm
Hmm.
place,
Hmm.
and you could see like even after when things are so calm and nice,
Hmm.
visually appealing, but still people are so fucked up in their mind,
Hmm. Hmm.
in their heart.
Hmm.
Things can go so wrong.
Hmm.
You cannot even imagine. You will go to that town, you will like how happy this town looks, but no,
Yeah, yeah.
people are fucked up there.
Hmm.
But if you replace this kind of geography with a city, you don't wanna see all this shit. This movie will become much more darker,
Yeah, yeah.
because people are already fucked up in a city where everybody is complaining about things and all, and visually you are seeing every shot which is so busy, so many
Hmm.
people there, if it would have created an impact if this movie would have shot in a city that he
Hmm.
came back. Maybe if Judge Palmer would have been living in the same city, same
Hmm.
kind of scenario, same kind of family, it's just
Hmm.
they are in that city only, same city. What
Yeah.
would have been the situation, how Judge Palmer would have been?
Hmm. See,
Oh,
you know what? Like,
yeah.
yeah, wherever Judge and Hank's character were portrayed on screen, uh, there has always been that desaturated tone. Even when you look at the courtroom, it was too desaturated tone. Like, it didn't have life. And when cops caught Judge in the custody, when RDJ like comes out of the flight and he goes to meet his dad. There he was like, I don't want your help. I'll just do on my own. There, there the scenes are so saturated because obviously whenever like people they get into this issues or whatever something dark happens to the life, you don't see colors there. So it was kind of well depicted that it had this desaturated tone. And now, okay, now, so basically we have seen like pretty like good movies where this tone is getting presented, like Seven, movie Seven, Incendies, what do you say, True Detective. Now my eyes are getting used to that desaturated tone, because usually if you tell me this, if you would have told me few years back, let's talk on this movies, the initial thought would be like, okay, are we watching these movies? Because usually I'm the person like who watches that vibrant color movies, with slightly darker tone. But when you watch an entire series or entire show or entire piece of content which has that very sluggish feeling and very desaturated tone, you're obviously gonna think a lot and you're gonna analyze what's going on. So, and end of streaming or watching the content, you kind of feel a numb in your mind that what have been consumed. So that's the feeling as after watching a show or a series, what I feel. But in this, like all people relate to this, because everyone has, not everyone, majority of people have this daddy issues, father issues. So so it wasn't like uh, something new to everyone. Even we have few moments in a life where we face these issues, not in like courtroom, but in day-to-day life. So there, I was just getting used to what's going on there. So yeah, it was pretty
Yeah.
new to me.
The conversation part when it was happening, when they both were screaming, when, when they were when that storm came and they
Yeah.
all were in the basement, and he got, yeah, he got angry because of some clip of the flipped car and
Yeah.
all,
Yes. Yes.
and
Yes.
he just
Yeah.
broke that
I'm
thing.
I'm I'm like, dude, why are you breaking it? It's so costly. Why are you breaking
Because
it?
I told you,
Yeah.
because he had this thing in him that whatever happened with these two
Hmm.
happen, Hank and Glenn, it happened because of the judge.
Hmm.
That
Hmm.
was judge, because judge used to, and it was reminding him that it's like you did it
Hmm.
because you
Hmm.
didn't control your kids that
Yeah.
you could
Yeah.
have done. So that kind of regret just came in front of him, and Hank realized it after some time.
Hmm.
Sometimes I guess you need to lose people to realize how important they were.
Yeah.
So,
He
and
he
and
he even
and Hank was lucky that he
yeah.
realized it when Judge was alive,
Yeah.
because the last words of Judge was good to him,
Yeah.
and that's what matters.
Yeah.
That remind me of one thing. I remember in Endgame when he and Captain America went back to get the Tesseract,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So he met with Howard Stark there. So
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Howard Stark asked about like uh, how was it, like how was your father, what he
Hmm.
did. So he said like he was tough on me, but when I look back, I just remember the good stuff.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that's how
Yeah.
life is. That's
Yeah.
that's what happened with Hank and the judge.
Yeah. We even see that Judge becomes personal to Hank when he says that you couldn't handle a wife, and what do you think, you can handle the whole family, or like something he said this. There he lost his cool. Like, so, like, he had some issues with Hank. I don't know, like, or might be the
Yeah,
over
because
caring of towards Hank.
no. It's just because of that accident that made a difference between both of their lives.
Yeah.
Like there was a difference just came in him,
Yeah.
and what was and whatever was happening, Judge had that fear in him that
Yeah.
he didn't want that to happen again,
Mm-hmm.
and with
Mm-hmm.
anybody. And that's why the guy he killed, he said it like, I saw you in him, so
Mm-hmm.
I had to improve him
Mm-hmm.
because of you. Because if and when I saw you, I saw him. So whatever the decisions I made, made because I I wanted you to change the
Mm-hmm.
way you were leaving leading your life. You could have ended like him only.
Mm-hmm.
So that is something Hank realized, that my father made a decision because he wanted me to change for good. Whether it requires to get a distance between father and son,
Mm-hmm.
but to have a life is more important.
Mm-hmm.
You need not to be with me, but he said it that we wanted you to come back every single day, and your mother wanted to come you to come back, and he always blamed me because I did something to you that made you not to come back, but you should have tried. And Hank realized it,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you cannot ask your parents or your yeah to tell you that they
Yeah.
need you.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess you gotta be there
Yeah.
and make them realize that the
Fulfill the roles.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
you need to respect that man.
Yes. Yes.
As much as you hate it, as much as you hate it,
Yeah.
you need to respect that part, that they are not going to tell you, you're gonna be there.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, that's what, like, how when a character or a person matures, he pretty much understands that how life works, or like what should be taken care. But obviously, uh, if you just take a real life example, like you see that whatever the older generation people have their thinking, or whatever the lifestyle they've been to, they try to implement the same lifestyle on others, like the younger generation. And the younger generation, when they transform into a newer generation, they implement the same lifestyle what their older generation and the present people, the present generation what they were living, and they're gonna implement the two generation, uh, two or three, or the same generation,
I
things
understand. I understand.
things
I
gonna get
understand that.
passed through it. But that's what, like, so basically you don't get to choose anything from your own side, or you don't get to do actions what you want to do. It's always the thinking of the past generations carried from maybe two, three, five, six,
You
seven
remember,
generations. Yeah.
highest in the room, there is this line, it's my life I did not choose.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Travis
yeah,
is like,
yeah, yeah.
it's my life I did not choose. So what can I do about it?
Yes.
I never asked to. It's not like I had a choice. I'm not saying I'm regretting it what I have.
Huh.
I'm just saying I didn't have a choice.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that is a reality. Our kids won't be having any choice,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes. They're gonna be born with default settings.
And those settings are the parents or the
Yeah, yeah,
family that you are going to get.
yeah.
That is called the default setting. And what you create after that, it's up to you. And maybe
Yeah,
sometimes that also doesn't work. And
yeah.
Hank was the perfect example of it. Having a
Yes.
daughter, but still a wife who is fucking his high school
Yeah.
buddy. So,
There, I don't know, like, should I say this, but when Hank told this, that you've been fucking that guy, I just I just remembered that scene when what do you say? Breaking Bad's character says, you when Skyler says to the guy, you know what? I fucked Ted.
yeah, it was funny.
Dude, Skyler is a bitch. Okay, fuck. I will leave.
So, yeah, it was sometimes it's like that, man. It's a family story. Everybody has it, and they have their different versions of it.
Yeah,
But making a story out of it, it's a great thing. I guess
yeah,
we are also going to work on something like that, but we are going to have a different scenario, obviously,
yeah.
and it is not.
Basically, if you want to just say in a one-liner what this movie was, older ego and younger ego. it was battle between those egos. That's what I could say. What do you think on this?
Would say I would say that there were intentions,
Yeah.
and one took around 40 years to realize what were the intentions was. And
Mm-hmm.
by the time he realized, uh, the judge was gone, the father was gone.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was there, but it was very important for Hank to be there, and by default, he was there. He
Mm-hmm.
defended his father because that would be the last time, and that was the last thing that he did for his father.
Mm-hmm.
He how much he cried when he couldn't save his father, when
Mm-hmm.
they took him, when
Mm-hmm.
they find him guilty for the charge of manslaughter, but
Mm-hmm.
not, manslaughter. There were two charges. So one was manslaughter, and that happened because
Mm-hmm.
the evidence were like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
only.
yeah.
So he cried because he couldn't save the person that he hated. This
Mm-hmm.
is how life turns out to be.
Yeah.
And and he changed himself. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he I remember when Judge's funeral was going on
Mm-hmm.
and Hank was going out of the bar, Samantha's place. So Glenn came to him and he was like, before you leave, just like you always do, I just want to say thanks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because Glenn knew that, and that last dialogue of Hank,
Okay,
the
where they're sitting on the boat.
no, no, that was not the last dialogue. His last dialogue was, there was just some guys that were coming in SUV and they said, "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
Palmer, fuck you." And
Oh
he
yeah,
was like,
near the bridge, near
uh,
the
uh,
bridge. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
He was like, I'm right here. I'm from here." And that was the first time
yeah,
he
yeah.
was proud to be from his town. That was the
Mm-hmm.
first time after a very long time
Yeah.
that he
There,
was proud to be
there,
from
there.
there.
I guess the character transition his second phase to second phase.
Like that's why he went back to the place where his father worked, and and he was realizing the things that he learned from his father.
Hmm.
You know, the that understanding was there. We could see it.
Hmm.
So so it was great, man. It was great watching this movie, and sometimes when you watch these movies, you realize that yeah, maybe you might be going through same kind of shit, but at last you need to find your own peace,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah,
it. You need to make the peace with your people because they are your default settings.
yeah, yeah,
You cannot change it. You just cannot. It's the life that was given to us. We
yeah,
have to work on it. And guys, if you are out there, you think your father or your mother or your family is fucking up with you, make your peace.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maybe after some time you realize that you just lost them and you didn't do what you could have done for them.
Yes, yes.
And Hank was lucky that he was able to defend his father.
Hmm.
Not everybody gets the same chance. I remember. Okay, I'll give you an example. I remember in 2020 when Corona was going on.
Yeah.
So my father's big brother,
Hmm.
he was like my yeah, he was my very close uncle.
Hmm.
So he used to come at the festivals time to our home because our home was big and he was feeling much more relaxed.
Hmm.
So when in 2020 he died because of some kind of some health issues were going on, and I remember my mother wanted me to go with her, and I just said it, no, no, let me stay at home, you both go. And
Hmm.
I still regret that why didn't I went.
Hmm.
I realized after some time, like, I should have gone there. I should have at least saw him for the last time. It's
Hmm.
just you realized it after some time. At that moment, you think you are the hero. No, no, you have to be like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
tough guy. But no, it just come down to the same point.
yeah. No, that's what I completely relate to you. There have been like few incidents in my life where I can relate to that. But yeah, it's a life we can't do anything. We can't rewind the clip like we rewind the movies. We just have to deal with it, and we just make through it. So yes.
Yeah, definitely, man. You need to find your own peace,
Hmm.
literally, and make your peace with the people that are close to you.
Hmm.
You're gonna fight, obviously. That is how life works. But obviously, don't make a shit out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because it's not like you are going to be lucky to spend some good time before they passed away. And
Hmm.
that's what happened. Guys, you need to start watching movies like we do. So start listening what we say,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. Although,
That's for sure.
the scheduling, what we do, or the episodes, what we come, it's sometimes we go in same genre, and sometimes we go opposite. The first week of launch, I remember it was so. I mean, the first 2 weeks,
It
man.
was so dark. We were
Yeah,
we were just going down, and now the movies that we are talking,
yeah.
they are like
You know what? Like, we need to have like a fine line between uh, not the same genre movies what we present to our audience. We need to have like a complete opposite, like, so that we get to have that variety of emotions. Uh, because I think when you have this same kind of emotions in your entire week or entire process, what we do, because I feel movies can shape you. So in a way, it teaches you how to behave, or like whatever, like it makes you a person, like. So I think we need to have variety of things. Like, today we have watched something serious. Next might be a little more chill or relaxed, so that we take time to absorb it. Or else, I remember when we started with Fight Club and we ended in Seven. I was in the same zone, and thing is, I treat this show as a stress buster. But eventually, when these episodes were coming out, uh, it was too much stress to my head, because the thing is, there are few stress in my life which is going on, like the office thing, my work thing, and the other personal things. I don't want this this piece of thing what we are building, the Jaftaf show. Uh, this always will have my heart. We don't want to do, so we'll just experiment with.
somebody's getting emotional here,
Yeah.
guys.
No, no, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. The things what I have in my mind, I'm just saying it. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Obviously.
yeah,
Like this is the place that we love to talk,
yeah.
and sometimes we get tired because of the day-to-day routine we follow.
Yes, yes.
So, but yeah, guys, Judge was a hell of a movie, and
Hmm.
and I guess we needed this kind of meditation for the
Yeah,
last 3 4 episodes actually it helped us to calm
yeah.
us down. But
Green
just
Mile
like we always
calmed
say,
us so much. Like,
but we gonna go come back to our
yeah,
phases where
yeah,
we gonna be dark again.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And and yeah, guys, I guess this is it from my side because this movie has so many things,
yeah,
and I guess some part of it we covered, and
yeah,
there are hell lot of things that we can talk about, just like Robert Downey Jr.,
yeah.
Robert Duvall, who worked in this Godfather,
Hmm.
in the in first two movies, he was there. He's a very, very old actor. He's 93 years old, and
Oh,
he's hell of an actor. So so yeah, man, it was nice talking about this movie, and
yeah,
yeah, let's let's catch up again and talk about some other
yeah,
calm thing so that we can go back to our usual
yeah,
shit.
yeah. I think we'll just get back to our zone with the next episode, what we are planning to. So there, I think we might come to the fun side. Yeah. So, any final thoughts before coming to the
No,
end? Yeah.
I guess we have discussed the ending part. The discussing about what we actually feel was the end. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
this is the time when we should say goodbye to the people for this episode
Yeah.
only.
Yeah.
We'll be come back.
Hmm.
And yeah. And you you will find this space background be removed because I'll be on Earth. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. He's gonna complete his mission and come back to the Earth very soon. Yeah.
Yes, guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess thank you for listening, guys. Like and subscribe. And I just love talking here.
Yes.
We want you guys to be here too. Yeah.
Yes. Peace out and have fun.